I like it.
Okay, all our preparations are just about set. Now that this is actually happening, I've got some pre-show jitters.
All this royalty? I always felt they lived in a different world to the likes of me. Never figured I'd be walking alongside one myself.
'Tis proof that bloodline decides nothing. We are one people living in a shared world.
Looks like this is gonna be our last mission. Any final words you want to say?
Stand strong to the end, I guess? Also, what do you mean last mission? I have so many friends I need to hang out with.
We can't
Hello?
give up. Stand strong to the end.
Of course. No way we're losing here. I've got the fire in my eyes now.
About the new stuff you've felt and learned since becoming the prince. Can I ask you one more thing? Why is it that you want to be king? It's not about honor or power, is it?
I guess this one, because the other options are lame.
I want to protect this country and its people.
Tis the answer
Or
I
rude,
hoped for.
rather.
As your knight, I will ever serve you with all my soul and ability.
Well, I guess this means we're ready as we're gonna be.
Okay, I guess we're
This
Going-
place here.
back to
Let's
Grand Trad. Let's go. I doubt all in Grand Trad will give us a warm reception. Still, should we choose not to fight, then Louise's victims only pile higher.
Yeah.
Easy to say will help anyone, but doing it's a whole nother thing. All the more reason we gotta prove we're serious by putting our lives on the line. We'll lead by example. Besides, it won't be the first time we've crawled our way up from the bottom.
After having made so many sacrifices, the group has gained new powers and ascertained new truths. Their arch-enemy, Luis, already has one hand on the throne. Even so, they march ever forward, spirits rekindled by battle. They head to Grand Trad, for the fight is far from over.
Can I, use my day, though, please?
That Eldon boy is nowhere to be found. I suppose it's only a matter of time until Luis takes the throne.
How are y'all still alive? Oh, where is the knight guy? Who was in all the armor? Where did he go?
Speaking of which, I don't see the general. The voice of the pro-Luis faction became too overwhelming. He was ultimately forced out of his position.
Oh.
Why is this happening? Even if the Sanctus Church's favor has collapsed, why is it that Luis alone is reaping the benefits?
The public mind is the same as it's always been. It's too difficult to find answers in themselves, so they follow those who provide. We've certainly relied on that ourselves.
It's always easier to follow than to have to make all the risks yourself. Now that we are out of ideas, what can we do?
How is the Prince of Montario not a, Roussant? How is he what is he, a Roig? I thought Montario was ruled by Roussant.
Can you imagine Luis on the throne? Can you imagine what he'd do with us? We'd be the first on the chopping block. Do we hide? Run? Our ships are in port.
Yeah, that's weird. The Prince of Oceania, I never thought about it before, but now that we've been to Montario, the Prince of Oceania should be the Prince of Montario, because he's a Roussant. Whatever.
Is this really the time for idle chit-chat?
Oh, hey, what's up, Batlin?
Who are you?
Just a passing wastrel. Thought I'd drop in for a word since I was in the area. You might have one way to survive.
What is Batlin up to?
Well then, let us depart. Lord Luis, your pardon. We've encountered an unexpected snag. I killed the prince in the Elven village. I confirmed his death, yet it appears the boy candidate has merged with his corpse. It seems the prince is now resurrected.
Resurrected?
Yes, and what's more, the boy candidate was the actual prince after all. Something about his soul having traveled independently and then returning to his corporeal body.
I see. So his ideal form was spun from Magla. Whatever the case, this means the land's true prince has reawakened in his center.
Yeah, I'm like a dragon. That's the only thing I really remember well from last time. We are essentially a dragon.
How interesting. After these long years, my chase may finally come to an end. My nemesis awaits.
Your nemesis?
Lord Luis, what is it about that bastard that fascinates you? Yeah, I won't let it end like this. I have to do better. I need more power. I will show Lord Luis I am worthy of his gaze.
It'd be kind of hilarious if Zorba is actually the final boss of this game. Like, we kill Louise, and Zorba, like, breaks and takes over Louise's dead body.
We'll soon be arriving above the royal capital.
That'd be kind of hilarious. I mean, it would suck, but it would be kind of hilarious.
Excellent. As planned, increase altitude and enter the royal palace in the sky.
Are you certain? We'll be heading directly to His Majesty, the former king, and...
Rest assured, that old fool is powerless to stop me now. Proceed.
Understood.
Let the final banquet begin.
Come on, any takers? Any bets for the other candidates? Remember, if Luis loses, a silver coin could turn into mountains of Reef.
What are you trying to say? You think Count Luis is going to lose?
Oh, no, of course not. I'm just saying.
I'll call that bet. All in on His Highness the Prince.
Batlin's like, I'm gonna be rich.
This really is the end of the world. Didn't know his esteemed princeliness had any supporters left.
Okay, screw off, guy who definitely threw a rock at me. Batlin is the greatest. Don't be rude to him.
I mean, he's not really the prince, is he? Was actually a monster in disguise all along. Haven't you heard the news? The times we live in, I tell you.
Because the news would never lie to you.
Must be tough, being an easy mark. It didn't take much for you to buy everything Luis was selling about the prince. The fireworks went off the moment he said, "Behold." Remember? You don't think there's any chance Luis orchestrated the entire thing?
Oi, churchman. You saying Count Luis lied to us? You think he cast some big illusion?
My guy. Louise destroyed the entire temple, which, you know, the church people had it coming, but what about all the innocents? He dropped a living human in the middle of town, killed the king, and countless other crazy things that he's done. Oh, yeah, he killed Stroll's whole village. Yeah. No, that man would never lie. No.
An illusion, eh? What if I said it's a power more dangerous than that? Always struck me as odd. We all know Luis, the mighty human slayer, but how does he keep finding the things one after another? Seems a bit convenient, if you ask me. Like he knows in advance where these monsters will appear to cause havoc.
Oh, he's been using this spell. I didn't even think about that. He's been using the spell the whole time to make the humans, to distort someone's magla and make the human. That makes so much sense.
Easy to nitpick and gripe about him, isn't it, churchman? Maybe someone needs to shut you up.
All right. Let's keep things civil, eh? No sense becoming a monster yourself?
Oi! What's all this fuss about? Damn it! When Count Luis is king, you'll all be the first at the gallows. You'll die just like Forden.
Well, they're probably just as anxious as the rest of us. All that yelling and thrashing helps fight it off. Humans have been sighted near the capital, after all.
It's more than that. Pockets of society have resented the upper class for ages now, but this might be the spark that lights the kindling. Luis's respect for power is certainly cruel, but it's fair to an extent. Those of us pushing the status quo have always struggled to understand the appeal.
Even then, everyone's on edge. They'll jump at any excuse to argue and snarl at each other. Never seen it this bad. Not normal, I say.
Blind fanaticism and doom go hand in hand. If we don't find some common ground soon, it'll collapse beneath us. Luis left saying that he'd be waiting at the royal capital. Only one place he could be. All eyes are on his Skyrunner as it rises to the flying palace. What are we about to see?
The end of the world. That's what we're about to see.
Ah, the royal palace. It's been a while. Do you hear me, O king? Stubborn and deathless? This country is distorted. You and the other titled authorities decide who grows fat and who is devoured. The country knows no war only because our very core is built upon a system of societal predator and prey. It cannot be defied from within. That is peace, but not order. Hand over the royal scepter. The game is over. The country needs change, and I will provide it.
Thou impertinent faith breaker, hast thou no shame in preempting the day of judgment?
Okay, now that I've seen his horns, I 1000% think that the king is more.
Do you presume yourself a god? Is that why you wrought your face in stone and took it to the heavens? You're nothing. Just an ordinary, broken old man.
And it's just like maybe the same situation as the protagonist. The protagonist was the soul, I guess, separated out of the prince's body. Maybe more is the king's soul separated out of his body on his deathbed. That's why he doesn't have any memories.
Wield the king's magic. To what end?
To purify all that your kind have left to rot. You threw away your ideals, but I will never make that mistake.
Only the people's chosen may take the throne. The royal scepter and its resting place remain beyond you.
This royal scepter, the royal magic. Did you think that only generations of kings were aware of their secrets? Why someone can manipulate world-changing power by use of only a single scepter? Why only... Listen well, O king. The truth behind the royal magic. Why someone can manipulate world-changing power by use of only a single scepter. Why only those supported by the people can use it. Huh. So it's true. The country truly is putrid with sin. In other words, if I took hold of it now, then I would have the power to change the world itself.
How didst thou learn of this?
How?
Thou wert elder.
It was a headband all along. I was wondering why a Clamar was in the Elven Forest. And why his horns looked so, like, perfect for his head shape.
You are not always blind to this country's rot. When you visited our sanctum, I saw and knew the passion in your heart. And yet,
What happened to our village? What happened to this country?
Oh.
You cannot stop me any longer. Nor can anyone else. Save one lone possibility.
It's me. I'm the possibility.
Snatching victory from the maw of catastrophe, the party descends again on the royal capital, Grand Trad. But they are greeted only by ominous skies. Their return hardly counts as a triumph, considering how they departed. Anticipating conflict, the Gauntlet Runner comes to a quiet stop.
What the hell's wrong with the sky? Isn't that... Oi! That monster boy's come back!
You're a piece of trash.
Ah, that's why the sky's grown so hellish. Half-dead bastard returns with his head held high.
Y'all are dumb.
A more aggressive welcome than I expected. Would any introductions help them to understand?
No, who cares about them?
It's useless. Words are cheap. Still,
Apparently actions
we
are
should
cheap.
walk with pride instead of trying to keep our heads down.
I worked my butt off to save them all countless times, and look where that's gotten me.
True enough.
His Royal Highness, the Prince, returns. Luis distorted his form through strange and terrible magics, but the curse is now dispelled. His true form has been restored.
Oi, if that's really His Highness, then tell us why didn't His Majesty in the sky stop all this bloodshed?
Because he's an imposter! Just like Count Luis said! You'll not fool us again, beast!
Oi! Calm down. At least listen.
And you! Never thought I'd see one of the Magnus brothers standing against Count Luis, even the thick one. He took in a parapus like you, and you spit on him, scum! Only thing traitors deserve is a tight rope and a stiff beam. And you want us to support the prince?
Lady Juno, I can't believe this. I admired you. Why would you risk dying alongside some fake prince? I don't intend on dying with anyone. Besides, I'm still me, whoever I'm standing with.
Hey, you chief! Weren't you the wretch who got kicked out of the knighthood? Now you're with this pack of throne chasers. Shame. Shame! Mustari girl! You ungrateful pagan! Count Luis brought down the Sanctus Church for you! How dare you strike out at him? They're all traitors, I say!
And you're all trash, I say.
What is all this? The truth of the prince hardly matters to them. Every one of them's only concerned with their own emotions and nothing else.
Welcome to human greed.
We'll have your heads on pike soon enough. Leave! Get out of our royal capital!
If they're just monsters, we can deal with them ourselves. How about it?
This is bad. They really are out for our blood. Has everyone gone insane?
Oi! Over here!
How did you get on my Gauntlet Runner?
Don't bother with them. No talking this one out. You need to run. Now!
We weren't away from the city that long. What happened? Why are all the people so bloodthirsty now?
The prince turning into a monster before their eyes still lingers in their minds. After all, a monster entered into their society disguised as a person.
No, that's not...
I know, it's not true. But truth and how it appears to the citizens are different beasts. Moreover, humans have been sighted closer than ever before. The royal capital's populace is unused to danger, so they've become suspicious of each other. How fares your neighbor? Do you run in circles with monsters in disguise? Are questions on the tip of every tongue. Ever since Forden's death, Luis has everyone on a knife edge. He's erratic, and nobody knows how he'll react to those who defy him if push comes to shove.
I think we all know how he'll react, actually. I think he'll kill them. I think that's fairly obvious.
So, at the core of it, people are scared witless, and they cling to Luis as a savior, rather than the devil he is.
You well know that Luis cares not one whit about social status, especially as a token of birthright. No amount of wealth or standing can buy his protection. So even those who may have opposed him at first now counsel that condemning him would be imprudent, as it puts their safety at risk.
Then we're stuffed. He won't save anyone, and oh yeah, he can create humans, by the way.
Oh, that's all true then. I have my suspicions, but it's still a bit of a jolt. This all said, in my humble opinion, what we're seeing in the people now has been in the works for some time. Now, has the tournament for the throne truly ever been a fair contest?
No.
The Sanctus Church bent it to its whim, and I abetted that. To my shame.
Dang it, why can't Batlin be a follower? I want to hang out with Batlin.
Before I met you people, I didn't have much to me but anger and quips. Yeah, I'd rant and snipe and have my cynical little discourse, but I'd only looked to others for change. Now maybe that outlook's our real enemy. Blind fanaticism, like I had. Even if there's no malice to it, it's a dangerous thing. Hard to think clear when your mind's a muddy stream.
We've been told Magla is born from people's anxiety. Perhaps the proof is now before our eyes.
Kind of ironic, but we have to do something about it. If we don't, they'll never listen. We'll only ever be seen as an enemy.
I had the inn prepared. They won't let anyone in but you lot. Let's head there for now, shall we?
This is a very long story segment. Almost all of last time, and we're now an hour and 15 minutes in of this time. Nurse is heading back to the Gauntlet Runner. It seems like the city has calmed down at least a tiny bit. They'd have a hard time wrecking our Gauntlet Runner, but we still shouldn't chance it. We should make our way over to the Hushed Honeybee. Everyone else has already gone ahead. Okay.
All right then.
Oh, it's Idol's Day. I want to go. Okay, that was a disturbing laugh. Please never do that again, ever. Oh, they're back to holding public hangings. That's fun. I thought we'd stopped that. Guess not.
Fascinating.
So with you, Archetype, have you? I expected nothing less. Please do not hesitate to inform me when you wish to study it. Wait, what? Okay, this book is still locked. The Book of Apocalypse. Okay, there's more in this green thing.